Hey everybody, what's good, man? Thank you for joining us today on another H10 Rundown Houston Rockets basketball podcast episode. Let's jump right to the intro. Welcome back to another episode of the H-Town Rundown for the Houston Rockets basketball podcast. I'm here with my boy Donte, man. I'm here with my boy Ryan, guys. We've got a lot to talk about, but before we get into that, guys, thank you for joining us today, right? Be sure to subscribe to the H-Town Rundown at the H-Town Rundown on Instagram as well as the X app. Check out YouTube as well. We got a lot going on over there. Donte, bro, how you been, man? What's good?
Man, I've been awesome, man. Texans day today, preseason game, and like I say, every time, we get ready to come on the show, I get excited, more and more about the season we had last year and just can't wait to the up and coming season this season.
Yes, sir, man. It's going to be so crazy. And Ryan, man, it's good to have you back once again. What's good, man?
Hey, man, I'm good, bro. We're just one day closer to the season, so.
Yes, sir.
Getting excited for that.
Yes,
even
sir,
man.
man.
In the beginning of August, but, we're pushing it.
Hey, I mean, August is just a month closer to the beginning of the season. That's all that matters. We just count down the days, baby. Man, how about that 2K trailer, guys? NBA 2K25 still robbing us of our money. Talking about stuff, it's all new. Come on. Ain't no one buying that shit. Ain't no one buying that shit.
Hey, Preston, I know you're about to go buy it, bro.
Actually, I'm chilling on NCAA right now.
Yep.
I got my money instead.
That does not mean you won't go buy it, because knowing you will go buy it.
We're going to hang out on 2K23 still. We're going to wait. But guys, we got a lot to talk about today. We're going to talk about some minutes, rotation, roles, and who we think grew over the offseason. So let's get right into it, right? Talk about some of the minutes that we think are going to happen. I think we talked a little bit last time that Fred VanVleet is likely going to play the most this season, I think, again. But I think Şengün might get a couple extra minutes. I think some of those minutes might divvy it up. Just 1 or 2 minutes might be shaved off into something like Jalen might get a minute or two depending on his play. I think Cam's going to have to get some minutes. So let's divvy it up, right? Let's start with you, Ryan. Who do you think is playing the most this season? And who do you think is getting the least amount of minutes?
Jalen Green is going to play every minute of the game, every game. Şengün is going to play every minute of the game, every game. Okay, no, but seriously, I think the most minutes are going to be split between Fred. So obviously going to get the most. Şengün's a close second. Jalen's a close third, depending on how he's playing, whether he's consistent, inconsistent. And then I think Amen is going to get a lot of minutes. I think he'll get more minutes than Jabari, just because he can play the 1, 2 through the 4.
Interesting.
And then obviously Reed Sheppard will get some minutes off the bench. Cam Whitmore will get those rotation minutes. I just think that Reed Sheppard is going to end up filling that Aaron Holiday role, so Aaron Holiday takes no minutes.
Yeah, for sure. I imagine that he'll have a massive minutes reduction. We haven't even talked about Steven Adams yet. I'm interested. I don't think he's going to get a lot of minutes. I think he's going to be played in spot minutes. I think that's a safe bet.
I mean, I think it's obviously going to depend who's in the rotation, who's playing, but I definitely do see a lineup consisting of Tari and Steven Adams out there both at the same time. That's like a rebound. That's a dog lineup right there. So I could see them playing together on the floor.
Yeah, I can imagine seeing them. It would be crazy to see what ends up happening going forward with that, especially bringing those kinds of dogs off the floor, and not to mention like you're gonna have Reed. Yeah, bring him to the bench, coming off the bench, and then you got Reed running pick and roll. Steven Adams is going to be just absolutely insane. I'm very excited to see that. But yeah, so you think it's going to be long between Fred and Şengün as the most minutes, and then you think the least amount of minutes is going to be played out of everyone on the bench. You think it's going to be your boy?
I think it'll be pretty split even.
Yeah,
I think you go to wants all the players to get split minutes. I think he wants them to all improve as a team.
Gotcha.
I know that he wants to be a win now coach. So I think that's what he'll try and get us to do. But we don't have a win now player.
Oh, so what you're saying is Jack Landale's getting a bunch of minutes.
Jack Landale's getting no minutes.
Hey, man, you never know what's going to happen, man. Happy Friday, Daniel.
You know what? There's a chance. Cheers, everyone. Jack Landale, no minutes.
Hey, man, anything can happen these days. We also signed a two-way contract to that other guy overseas, that other little center guy. He was kind of nice. It's going to be really interesting. I think his name is it Jack? Is that his name? But I'm very interested to see what's going to happen. I'll get to my predictions here in a minute, but I want to hear Donte's, man. So, who do you think is going to get the most minutes on the court? Who do you think is going to have like the largest minute cuts? And he's saying that, Aaron Holiday's probably not going to get any minutes. What do you think?
I can see Aaron Holiday getting minutes. I can do that, see it, but I wouldn't be upset if he don't, because I think Reed Shepard is going to get some minutes. Aaron Holiday wasn't seeing any minutes last year until Thompson went down, and rightfully so. He took advantage of those minutes that he did get, and Ime Udoka found a way to keep on playing them, and that was a good idea for dude is hot, and he's getting you keep finding a way to keep him on the floor, and he found the way to keep a man and him on the floor. I think Fred VanVleet is going to get the most minutes because you got to have him on the floor, regardless if he's struggling. We seen that a lot last year. Regardless if he's struggling, he's the playmaker of this team. He keeps the team going. He keeps the team going together. He holds everybody accountable. He's like a second coach on the floor. So regardless, you keep him on the floor at all times. Regardless, yes, he's gonna shoot up shots. He's gonna have some nights that he's gonna struggle, but he's still an efficient 3-point shooter. After all the struggles he did, he's still an efficient 3-point shooter. He still can shoot the ball pretty well. He's probably undersized point going to the basket, but he can make shots from the outside. So that's one thing is good about Fred VanVleet. So I think he will probably he would get the most minutes because you got to keep him on the floor at all times. Yeah. Especially down the stretch, and you saw that a lot last year when he stepped up and made some plays. You look at when he was struggling in the New Orleans game, and that's our first. That was our first. That was what you call that? That was our first
playing tournament. No,
whole game,
whatever.
Yeah, he couldn't make a shot throughout the whole game, and then he makes the two biggest shots of the game. He makes the 3-pointer to tie, and makes a 3-pointer put us up. You seen against Detroit, we was down in Detroit. He turned into Superman versus Detroit.
He did, man. He really did. He was about to get our ass beat by
Detroit.
The second Utah game, I believe, in Salt Lake City, he bailed us up out that game a lot. In the third Utah game, even though we lost that game, he played hell of a. So it was many games that Fred VanVleet played a hell of a game. I forgot that other game. I believe we blew a team out. It was at home for sure. I think it was against Utah. I think it was the other game against Utah when the whole team was just on fire. But Fred VanVleet.
Oh yeah, that was in March.
Yeah, Fred VanVleet was on fire.
Jalen Green and Fred combined. It was what 71, 72, 73.
Yep, I
was at that game. It was electric.
Yeah, I say Fred VanVleet get the most minutes, and everybody else just depending on how they play. I think Steven Adams get some rotational minutes. I really do, because he's going to be the backup center, but I don't think he plays a lot. I think Alp gets the second most minutes. I mean, he's a star of the team. You should put the offense, fit the offense through a list.
You don't think that we should trade LP away?
No.
You said no. The fear in Donte's eyes right there. He saw the shake of his eyes.
I'm not one of the fans that will actually think about that or just really do that. So I start this team, and I think the offense should continue to flow really through him. Yeah. And other than that, Jalen Green depends on how he playing. I still think it's gonna be up and down for Jalen Green. It depends on just how Jalen Green plays. If he's playing well, Ime Udoka will find a way to keep him on the floor. But other than that, I see Fred VanVleet playing the most minutes, and the rotational minutes is gonna come for Thompson. He's gonna get him in. He's gonna get Whitmore in the game. He's gonna get Shepard in the game. He's gonna find a way to get the guys that was productive last year to get those guys in the game. We can go 9 deep. I can say we can go 9 deep.
So Donte, I have a question for you.
Yo.
So my question is, if you think Aaron Holiday is going to get not a lot, but a decent amount of minutes coming off the bench, and we just drafted Reed Shepard, do you not see Aaron Holiday as a veteran just to lead Reed Shepherd among Fred VanVleet as well? Or do you, and not as a player who just comes in when there's an injury? Do you see him taking minutes from Reed Shepherd?
No, I don't. But I can see certain games he could. But like I say, he's just that ultimate veteran, man. Like he wasn't playing. He didn't play a game until last year until Amen Thompson got hurt. It took Amen Thompson's injury just for him to even start playing. So
yeah, but then he
first couple of games for us. And throughout those first couple of games, you know, about a week or so when Amen Thompson he got hurt in the Detroit game. I think that was the first Detroit game. No, Hornets game. The Hornets game. That was the Hornets game. Yeah. He actually got hurt in that game, which was our first win last year. He got hurt in that game, and then you saw a lot of Aaron Holiday. And ever since then, Aaron Holiday has been very good for us. And I saw why I can see something like that happening again in case an injury goes down. Again, when he plays so well, you can't keep him by the rotation.
Right. So you do think he comes in and plays if there's an injury? If
there's an injury, yes. Because
he's taking minutes from a healthy ball.
So one of the guards, I can see a way he still plays. But other than that, do I rather for Reed Shepherd to get those minutes? Yes, and I still think Ime Udoka will find a way to get him.
Okay, because that was my original question. I guess. Yeah, because I guess what I said is I think that Aaron Holiday, I don't think he plays unless a guard or someone's hurt.
Yeah, that's the same thing I say. As long as there's an injury, if the only way I can really see Aaron Holiday playing and getting minutes is on a specific injury. But would I be surprised if he plays right away because how he played last year? Just don't be surprised because again, he deserved those minutes that he played last year. And he was effective. He was very effective.
He was. I mean, he played he exceeded all expectations last year, I think.
And he dunked on people too.
Yes, he dunked on two guys from the Knicks. I remember that dunk. That dunk when he dunked on two of those guys.
Crazy. Yeah. Crazy. Yeah.
Was it like 2 or 3 games in a row he did that?
Yeah, because he hadn't had a dunk in like
years.
He had like 3 or not very many dunks in his career. And then he comes out back-to-back dunks that were just posters, just absolutely crazy dunks.
Yeah, the one against the Hawks.
Yeah, it was crazy, bro.
It was the Hawks, right? I think so, yeah.
I think.
You know which one I'm talking about, the first one.
Yeah, the crazy poster where he just came out of nowhere. Yeah, that was wild.
Yeah, bro, that was monster.
Oh, yeah, that was actually one more thing.
Underrated dunk of the year.
That was probably, I know Amen Thompson made people look like crazy, look stupid, but having Donte Murray a part of any kind of poster, that was crazy, man. He look like he was just really that smart. He just feel like it was just really nothing. It was just so easy for Thompson the way he dunked on people last year. It was just so easy.
Yeah, and I don't know. I think the moral of the question here, or my answer, right, is for Aaron Holiday is I think he plays more than Reed to begin. I think he gets more of those minutes to begin. I think at the end of the season, we're going to see their minutes be close to equal. I think Aaron does play quite a few games this season. I'd say probably 40, based on injury and whatnot, just because he's a consistent factor. And even if we're blowing them out, if we're up by 18 in the fourth quarter with 5 minutes left, Aaron's going to play.
So he's a scrub that isn't scrub what comes in during scrub time.
It's more or less to help the newbies, right? The rookies. You probably still keep Tari Eason in there, right? So you can have Aaron Holiday as this binding factor at the 1, and then you probably play Reed, Amen, Tari, and then Jabari during those final minutes, just so he can get extra run. But these are all very good answers. I'm glad that you guys are bringing these up. I really want to say the person that's getting the most minutes reduction is probably going to be Dylan Brooks. I think he's probably going to see the most minutes gone. Not that it's going to be 10 minutes. No, I just think he's going to get, he might lose 4 or 5 minutes.
Okay, I thought you said he's going to play the most minutes.
No, most reduction in minutes. I think he'll, instead of playing what he played last year, 29 and a half, almost 30, I think he'll probably play closer to that 24, 25. And even though Dylan Brooks is absolutely phenomenal, Tari Eason's got to play. You got to play. You have to play Tari Eason. You also have to play Cam Whitmore. You have to play Amen.
Also, if you want Dylan Brooks' contract, he'd be happy with anything at this point.
I really think he might. I think he understands that year 2 for him is I'm just trying to prove to the league that I still belong here and that I'm worth my contract. regardless of how many minutes I'm playing. So that way he can probably go to a contender. I think that's really, really what this season is about for him if he's not gone by the trade deadline. And I like DB. It's nothing against DB. We got to make room for the guys to grow. I think another thing that's going to be interesting is to see where a men really plays. I think this is going to be really a deciding factor if he's going to play a 1 or if he's going to be a playmaking wing. We'll see where he plays his most minutes at, because last year he played everywhere. He literally played every position last year besides the 5. So it is interesting. Hopefully he got that shot a little bit better, get those free throws up just a little bit, maybe we're talking. But I think the most minutes, I think is pretty obvious. Like we talked about Fred VanVleet, I think just across the board, Fred is going to have the most minutes. He's just the most important focal piece of the entire team. The 1 is the most important piece. You don't win unless you have a guy who can play make at a high level. You just don't. Obviously, followed that behind that is Şengün. I think that's pretty simple. And then Jalen. And then I don't know, Jabari. I don't know how many minutes he played last year. I think around that 28.
I think Tari might end up getting more than Jabari. Hot take, but I think he does.
It really just depends on, what ends up happening and rotations and whatnot. But yeah, Tari's cut, like, regardless of the spot, Tari's coming for a starting spot.
No, Tari's like that, bro.
Some of these guys that you saw last year, it really depends on how well they actually playing in the game. Yeah. You see, how bad, when you see how bad Jalen Green struggled at the beginning of the season, you seen Tari getting those minutes down the stretch, and he was very effective. And when Jabari Smith not playing well, you seen how effective you down the stretch in the second half of the season when you had guys like Amen Thompson playing a small ball 4. You seen Jock Landale taking advantage of his opportunity. You seen Dylan Brooks sometimes stand in the game, not because he was scoring, because of his defense alone. So I think most of those guys, it just really gonna depend on how good they're playing inside of a game. We know Fred VanVleet, regardless of how bad he's playing, how bad he's shooting, he's gonna be in the game because he's our leader, and he's just getting Amen Thompson prepared, for take that next step and take that next role as our starting point guard. And also that's going to open up for Reed Sheppard. And not like we all saying and stuff like that. This is better for Reed Sheppard because you're walking into one of the best locker rooms in the NBA. Yes. You have Jeff Green that's going to be he's not going to play the minutes that he played last year.
I hope not.
He's gonna be on the bench and in the locker room. And that helps us out. Aaron Holiday, another good locker room guy. Steven Adams, another good locker room guy that's been in this league for a long time, that's been competing for a long time. And Fred VanVleet, who's got a championship, and who's a veteran and who also will hold guys accountable. A lot of people may not like Dylan Brooks, how much he, people don't like his arrogance or nothing like that, but that's something we needed. That's something we actually lacked toughness for the last 3 years. And, every time we fought, we won a game. Like we were like 10-0 at 81. Right. You got to credit Dylan Brooks for that villain role. And, the guys are not taking nothing and not being disrespected out there. You kind of like that. And Ime Udoka, calling out one of the greatest players of all time, arguably the greatest player of all time, LeBron James, is stepping up to him, saying he's soft. We need someone like that. We haven't had nobody like that for 3 years, and we already know how that went down, but we need something like that. We need something like that.
Yeah, we know how that went down. Yeah, man. I just, every time anyone says Smiley, man, I just remember Josh Christopher. Walking to the bench, clapping his hands every single time. But that's a fantastic point, Donte, with all these locker room presences. So now my next question is, what kind of rotations are we seeing? In my opinion, I think Fred VanVleet is probably the last one to be subbed out, right? In like as the starting 5. But I don't know.
There's so many different rotations we could put out there. I think the one rotation that I really want to see is a transition rotation, which would be Amen Thompson, Jalen Green, Cam Whitmore, Tari Eason, Jabari or Şengün. That would be probably our most fun rotation. That's one I want to see out there. It gets all the young guys out there. So I think that's the one I want to see the most. Not that it'll happen until later in the season or in scrub minutes, but that's definitely the rotation that I want to see.
That is actually a very interesting, uber athletic rotation. That's going to be super, super entertaining. One I want to see is a a shooting rotation. So obviously Jabari at the 5 is going to be the key factor there. You're probably putting Tari and Cam out there at the 3 and 4, respectfully, either or. And then you got Reed and Fred out there and just running that. Like, you're going to have a diminutive guard position, and that's totally fine. I just want to see everyone just corner three, just a completely spread out offense. And then it obviously allows, people like Reed to get out there and get minutes, or in place of Reed, obviously Jalen Green. Either way, I'm really excited to see what Reed is going to do with this team, and the screens that Jabari is going to be setting. Tari is going to be setting too. Pick and roll is going to be phenomenal.
Steven Adams will be setting.
Yes, Steven Adams is going to be crazy. Just a brick wall out there, man.
I seriously think that a lot of Rockets fans just forget that we have him.
Yeah. I mean, we haven't seen much of him over the offseason. He's a quiet man.
We haven't seen any of him.
Yeah.
Since he got to Houston.
Yeah. Oh, we've seen some clips, not him playing, but,
Actually, a Steven Adams fan or whatnot on Twitter?
The fan account, yes. Shout out Steven Adams fan account, bro.
Shout out Steven Adams fan account. Great account. I think I saw one of their posts on like ESPN or SportsCenter or something yesterday. Bleacher Report. So
respect.
What a go to the account. Shout out to them.
Yeah, we'll have to go back and find that for sure. Give it free shout out. But yeah, Steven Adams is going to be absolutely phenomenal. I think another lineup that's going to be super fun is, your IQ lineup. Obviously you're going to have Fred, probably, again, it's not going for defense necessarily, but Fred, Reed, you're probably going to have DB and probably Tari out there. And then, Şengün, just really a not necessarily directly defensive, but a quick yet intelligent lineup of players that are going to be able to use their body and size and play to a certain way that a lot of other players in the league can't play at. I think that's going to be really interesting to see as well. Donte, what are some lineups and rotations that you're interested in seeing out there?
Some lineups and rotations.
What you want to see?
Like I say, I'm expecting. I mean, you see, it depends on how the game is going. Down the stretch lineups will matter the most out of anything. We already know how the starters is, but the rotation in the lineups, you would love to see. Fred VanVleet out there. Of course, you would love to see Tari Eason, Cam Whitmore. Imagine them guys on the same floor. You have LP, Jabari out there as well that can stretch the floor, and you have Fred VanVleet on the same floor. And then you can come back if you can. When you can come back with Fred VanVleet being out, and this is the tricky part. You have Amen Thompson. Would you consider playing Amen Thompson at the 1? Tari Eason at the 2. You have Dylan Brooks out there as well. Also, you can have LP out there, and you have a small. You can just play a small ball lineup along with Cam Whitmore. So you're gonna see a lot of small ball lineups, but it's a word. Steven Adams. You're gonna definitely have Fred VanVleet out there with Steven Adams. You're gonna have Jabari playing some small ball 4, or Cam Whitmore mixing in the small ball 4, Reed Shepherd out there. There's so many different lineups you can go with, man. But the lineups that you want to see and that I actually want to see, who's getting the minutes down the stretch. And like I said, I just really think it depends on how everyone is going to be playing. And not, like I said, I think regardless of anything, Fred VanVleet will be the one on the floor no matter what goes on. But it just the other guys, who would you have on the floor down the stretch?
For sure. Yeah, who's playing the best? I think another thing that's going to be really interesting, not that it'll happen, but imagine a front court of Jabari, Steven Adams, and Şengün.
That's not happening.
That'll never happen, but man, throwing those big guys out there, and then you got Cam Whitmore running the 2, and then Amen running the 1. You can't shoot it all, but you're getting to the paint every time because like the screens would be crazy. And then you got your one shooter out there, Cam. I mean, you'd just be running double drag screens the entire time to get Cam Whitmore open. That would be crazy.
You know what people will say on Twitter, like when where was that lineup that he actually played last year that did not work? It did not work. That you couldn't shoot. People will say on Twitter, you can't play that lineup no more.
What was it? It was like Jock, Tate.
That's why.
That's
why.
I think it was LP. It had to be LP Tate or somebody. I know he had two Amin Thompson. I believe Amin Thompson was in the same lineup.
We had 3 non-shooters out there with what was it, Jalen Green? It was like Jalen and Dylan Brooks.
Yep.
And not that Dylan Brooks isn't a shooter specifically, you just don't want him being your primary shooter. If he happens to hit 6 threes in this game, hey, DB hit 6 threes. But I'm not expecting him to hit more than 1 every game. You know, that's just like
after Twitter did that, you never saw
they burnt his ass, bro. He went right to Twitter. He said, "Man, how they feel about this lineup?" They said, "Nah, we ain't cooking that shit ever again."
We never did that lineup again. We never did that type of lineup again.
Well, I think that we're severely missing on 2 lineups that we should all be excited to see: the starting lineup and the bench. And here's why. In the first few games of the season, it'll show us what we can expect from the team. What's going to work, what's not going to work, who's going to be well, who's going to play well, and who's not going to play well. And I think as fans across the world, Rockets fans, not just us, we should all be excited for those 2 lineups because those are the most important 2. Those are the lineups that are going to get ran the most. So obviously we got to keep it real. We can't come up with all these wonderful lineups that we want to see. We have to keep it real here and there.
What are you talking about?
Hey, I mean, look, if we were living in a fantasy world, I'd be running my 2K lineup.
Some of the that we're saying, I think it's gonna be true. It's a word you do see it. You do see them, but it's a question now. I kind of want to propose to Mr. Ryan and Mr. Press right here. So y'all actually ready for this question right here?
Oh.
So after you remember that second Brooklyn game, we was down and we came back. Now,
I don't think I watched it.
I think Press.
I already got a headache thinking about it.
After Jay Sean Tate shot that 3-point shot, did y'all ever see him play again?
No, that guy single minute, bro. He said, "Hey, Cam Whitmore, you getting his minutes, bro." Tari Eason got hurt. Sengun was hurt. Fred VanVleet was hurt for.
I remember this now. Yes.
And they couldn't miss a shot all in the first half. I think Cam Thomas was just absolutely on the tear in that first half on us. And we come back. Cam Whitmore was the guy that actually got us back in the game.
Yes.
And on the inbound steal, Amin Thompson actually got the ball, made a 3-pointer, and he comes out of nowhere. You had goddamn Jay Sean Tate gets the ball. He shoots a fade 3, and we all go crazy. And you know it was bad. Now guys, Will and Brad just laughing. That was crazy. And you never saw that dude play again. You never saw that dude play another minute. And I was good for it. Because I've been saying.
So where did Jack Landale get to play after his one shot where he should have, what was it, a layup or something? He passed it up.
Who?
Jock Landale. Remember he passed up the layup in clutch time like Ben Simmons?
It don't matter, bro. He wasn't a step back side 3 from a 29%.
Ben Simmons passed up a layup, and so did Jock Landale.
Look, I'd rather you miss a layup, pass up a layup, than Jay Sean Tate ever taking another step back 3 again.
I'd rather bash Jock Landale for nothing.
Don't worry about it. But guess what? You can do that all day. But guess what? Is we 41-41 without Jock Landale even playing the way he played last year? When LP went down, we ain't 41-41 when he playing the way he played.
Right.
Yeah, bro, we saw what it was like running Jeff Green at the center, and I love Jeff Green. Don't get me wrong, but boy,
he's not COVID Rockets Jeff Green anymore.
Yeah, he's not bubble green anymore, man.
And I've been saying, and one more thing, I've been saying this, they going way back to last year when me and Press was doing this. Let's stop playing Jay Sean Tate. Let's just play Cam Whitmore. Cam Whitmore is the better player right now at this point. And Ime Udoka, after that shot right there, that was it. He said, "Come on, you gotta come sit your ass on this bench. Come on, Cam Whitmore."
Come on,
he sat his little ass down. He gave him a pat on the head and said, "Hey, man, you did your thing. Don't ever touch my court ever again."
Yep.
And to be fair, Jay Sean Tate did have good moments throughout the season.
Yeah, he did. Yep.
In the tournament, he played well. When he played alongside Aaron Holiday, he was okay.
First Denver game, he played well.
Yep. He was effective. But yeah, I don't ever want to. Yeah, yeah. Like, there's not much more to say about that. You know, that Brooklyn's moment right there was just like, yo, this ain't the Steven Silas era Rockets no more. You don't ever do that again ever in your life, and you learned to not ever do that shit ever again.
And you never would play on the floor again after that play. You have an opportunity to do that again. Do that and never again.
That is a low IQ moment right there.
That was crazy. That was crazy.
Jock Lando passing up a layup. Low IQ moment.
It wasn't a great moment either, man. Jason Tate, I don't know what. I don't want to stay too long on this, man. Man. Donte and I hopped on the podcast right after that game, and I was like falling back in my chair. What an incredible moment.
that was one of the most funniest moments. And I mean, I was upset that we lost against Brooklyn in the first place. Not that upset because again, Brooklyn, they're not a good team. They're gonna come out and play, especially at home, and they were hot the whole game. But for us to get back in the game the way we did and get down by 1, and then for you to just shoot that right there, and man, that's crazy. And that's one of the losses that we got right there. Big losses that we got right there. That cost us right there, pretty much.
Okay, very, very, very hypothetical question that would never happen.
Oh.
Would y'all trade for Cam Thomas?
No.
Cam Thomas?
It
depends on what the package looks like, but yeah, Thomas is real. Bro averaged 22 off the bench for that.
Jalen Green.
No. Bro, no. They playing Silas ball over there. Cam's not coming over here to average 22. I don't ever want to know.
True.
I don't want him anyway. I mean, we got.
I'm glad we're on the same page because there are people who would do that.
No, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, they ain't real fans. They just goofy and trying to get a hot take.
No, they're tweeting deleters.
Yeah, that's what they is.
That's what they are.
So now I want to transition to our next topic real quick. So we talk about rotations, which is really interesting. But I think roles might change for players, right? Going into the season, I think some people are gonna have some different roles, going to be running a different lot of plays. Ryan, I'm interested. Is there anyone's role specifically that you think is going to change, or you would like to see change going into the season?
I actually think that Jabari and Şengün, I don't think their roles change, but I think they start playing each other's positions at some point throughout the season.
You think Şengün plays a little bit of the 4?
I think Şengün goes to the 4 and Jabari goes to the 5 at some point throughout the season. I could see it happening potentially.
Okay. For sure. No, for sure.
Because with Jabari at center at the end of the season, when he was getting the tips, I mean, it wasn't going badly. It was actually going pretty well for us.
When he was playing center? When he was playing center?
At some point.
Yeah, it wasn't great when he played center.
It wasn't great, but he was.
It looked better with
Şengün, obviously.
Like obviously Şengün, but
I do see them switching in and out of
for sure.
Here and there.
Yeah, that's definitely a possibility. I mean, Şengün
obviously Amen Thompson going 1 to 4. I do start seeing Amen Thompson playing 1, 3, and 4. I don't see him playing 2 at all.
I hope not. If he's playing the 2, he's not playing the 2. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. That is interesting. And so like in terms of like ball dominance, is anybody getting any extra ball dominance? Is anyone getting
Amen Thompson?
You think Amen Thompson's getting more? Yeah,
absolutely. He should.
For sure. What about Cam Whitmore?
Actually, you know what? I think they're going to try and take the ball away from him.
Interesting. Let's talk about that. Why do you say that?
I think they're going to try and not the team takes it away from him like intentionally so he doesn't touch the ball at all. I think they're going to try and turn him into like a Michael Porter Jr., more aggressive type of player.
Okay, so like when he has the ball, he's just going right to the hole, no play.
He's either going to go straight to the hole or he's just going to catch and shoot every time. Yeah.
Okay. So you think we're going to see a lot more?
Let's say he's taking the ball up. No one's going to ever touch the ball in that possession.
Yeah, you're right.
No.
Cameron, never swing the rock Whitmore. Ain't passing that thing if you get that rebound and he say what Melo say out of here. Yeah, he ain't touching the.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Okay, I could definitely see that. Cam Whitmore getting not necessarily less touches, but less duration of possession. Yeah. He's not running the offense. He's not holding the ball as long on the duration of a possession, right? That's kind of what you're saying.
Because last season, sure, he was grabbing 18, 19, 20 points a game.
For a while there, he was, yeah. He was for a while there.
He's a great player, but a lot of that came from chucking up shots or taking to the rack, which worked very well, don't get me wrong. But a lot of it was just holding the ball for too long and just trying to create his own space.
Gotcha.
And I want to see him start creating space off ball too. I think if he creates space off ball and he can get open at the 3-point line, it's wraps.
Yeah, can you imagine Jabari and Şengün as the people, or not Jabari and Steven Adams setting screens for Reed and Cam Whitmore? Who are you going to go double?
Jalen Green.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So it's like, you're done. You're cooked. You know? Steven Adams going to lay you out, and Jabari's a lengthy big man. And like you're gonna have to you're gonna have to get around Jabari. So Cam Whitmore gonna be sitting wide open corner, Reed Shepherd wide open corner. Fred VanVleet wide open corner. You know what I mean? You're cooked.
This is exactly why we could be a playoff team.
Yeah, that's gonna be very interesting. We're gonna be a very. Can we
I
say?
I think what makes us a playoff team is if we start playing off ball more.
Let's talk about that. I like that. I
think that's what makes us a playoff team because we are a shooting team, defensive and shooting,
and that's what wins championships. Shooting and defense.
And I think that if we get Jalen Green playing off ball, which he does most of the time,
he does play a fair amount off ball.
Right. We get Reed Shepherd completely playing off ball, catch and shoot, playing his role that he should be, Cocaine Curry, Crack Curry. We get Cam Whitmore off ball, running around the court. Again, Steven Adams, Jabari, Şengün picks. I mean, let's say Amen Thompson fixes the shot and he's shooting 38%.
From 38% from three? You think he will shoot 38 on how many attempts? 0.7? Ain't no way Amen Thompson shoot 38% from 300.
Hey, I said if.
He needs to shoot 46% from the field in general. That includes that. I'll give you the mid-range extender. How about that? We'll say that.
But I do think that if we do start playing off-ball, set more screens, we have players running floppy all over the court. I think it's wraps.
It definitely could be, bro. It definitely uses that play on 2K my team for sure.
Oh, all the time. I don't even play my team. I just play against my friends. But yes, that is the play.
Yeah, floppy play do go crazy. But yes, you're 100% right, man. It's just so exciting to see like these possibilities. I mean, obviously we'll see, but can we actually shoot this season? Because that was the thing. Is last year we went 41-41, and we were a bottom 7 in 3-point percentage, which is crazy. You got Fred VanVleet on the floor, but everyone else just shot so poor. Jason Tate, I'm looking at you, homie. Yeah.
This kind of brings me to the question about rotations and roles, right? Imagine a rotation of Fred VanVleet, and then either Jalen Green or Amen Thompson, and then Fred or Jalen, Cam or Reed, and then you got Steven Adams and Jabari out
there. There's gonna be a banging lineup. That's for sure.
What I'm saying. And we have the team to be a catch and shoot team and play off ball. Mm-hmm. That's a team that we've built.
You play off ball, you go to the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? That's how it works. Mm-hmm.
Amen.
Literally. Hey, Donte, man. What do you think, man? Do you think roles are changing for the Houston Rockets? Do you think anyone's going to be getting less ball dominance, less ball pressure and all that? Do you think anyone's getting less or more guaranteed stuff?
I think LP is going to be more part of the offense. I think if I had to go with anyone matter of fact, I'm going to go outside of LP. I'm going to go Jalen Green. I think he gets more opportunities to show what he can do. Like I say, for us, I think for us to take that next step, I think Jalen Green has to take another step. I think he has to take another step up if we're gonna be a playoff team. So I think he will get more. I could see him getting more opportunities, but I think the offense will run through LP. I think the offense will actually run through LP. I can still see Fred VanVleet and LP doing that little pick and roll that they always do and stuff like that. But I think Jalen Green gets more opportunities to showcase himself. It's a big contract year for him, so you don't think he want to take an opportunity of that, knowing that LP is going to probably get his max. He's going to probably get his money. But other than that, I can see his role being switched, and I see everybody else having the same role. I see Cam Whitmore, having the same role. He does nothing. He's not a guy. He's a guy that's gonna come off the bench. It gives you a instant scoring punch, and you need Tyrese isn't just gonna be Easton. He's gonna rebound. He's gonna play great defense, and he's gonna bring the energy off the bench. I think everybody else's role stays the same, but the only role I see can go up is Jalen Green. I think for us to be that playoff team and make the playoffs, he's gonna have to be Jalen Green. He's gonna have to step his game up to another level.
100%.
This leads me to a question. What impacts our team more? Jalen Green playing better or playing the same he played this season, just a little bit more consistently? Or Amen Thompson fixes his shooting and he's shooting 46%?
It's got to be Jalen.
It's got to be Jalen. I think it has to be Jalen. I think Jalen, for us to be that be a playoff team and make the playoffs all right. I think we are playing tournament team though. I think we can be that. But for us to make the playoffs outright, I really think Jalen Green is gonna have to take another step up, another level up. Amen Thompson can find ways to be effective outside of shooting. If he can just get him a consistent mid-range jump shot, he will be fine.
He can drive his handle, get a mid-range, and just drive to the rack every time. It's wraps.
I mean, we saw that man. I mean, doing some crazy, like pump fakes,
athletic plays, like putback dunks, just around putbacks, like. Bro,
watch out, man. Watch out. And we haven't even talked about it yet. I don't know if y'all saw, but the Houston Rockets posted a picture of Ben Thompson. He's got braids now. Men got braids, bro. It's over. Get out.
I could have sworn he had them last offseason too, no?
He did for a while, but he took them out. Now he got braids again. He working. Watch out.
Hey, Jalen Green looks homeless. He's also working.
Yeah, watch out. Watch out. We got a lot of things to watch out.
You better watch out.
For sure. So another thing that I think is going to be interesting, right? So we kind of talked about some of the rules potentially changing and on some of these other players. I think a role that might change, and maybe you kind of alluded to it, Ryan, is the Amen Thompson role. First season is really just feeling out for any player. You never really know what you are until you get to the league, right? I mean, is he going to be a 1? Or is he going to be a 3, a playmaking 4? Who knows? Obviously,
1 or 4, no in between.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see kind of what role he's in. But I think we're going to start to get an idea and possibly find out what he could be, during this offseason here, or going into the offseason, into the regular season here. Kind of seeing the plays that they run for some of these preseason games and whatnot. I'm just really interested to see what ends up happening. Another thing that I think is going to happen is Ryan, I don't want to just sit here and agree with you, but Cam Whitmore running off ball, Jalen running off ball. I mean, if Jalen can be better, it makes the team better. Everyone else can get incrementally better like we expect them to, and that'll make the team a little bit better. If Jalen can get incrementally better, the entire team is way better. That is how important Jalen Green is to the team.
No, you're right.
And if he can just a little bit, we ask him for a consistent 46% from the field and 38% from 3, 37% from 3. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. He could average 19 on that. I'd be fine with that. Yeah. 20, I like 20 obviously, but I mean, a cool 19 on a solid efficiency that opens up everybody else plays immediately more efficient. That is how crazy that is. They don't sag off him anymore.
Jalen Green is he is the core of our team right now, because we're in that weird position with him where either he plays consistent and we keep him and he keeps us together, or he stays inconsistent. We trade him away, get a new piece, and that changes the direction of our team.
Changes the entire direction of the team.
He is that core piece that we have right now.
Mm-hmm. And with Şengün, obviously, very clearly the best player on the team right now. Very clearly.
Şengün obviously is one of the best players on our team. Him and Fred, right?
Yep.
Jalen Green, though, is the head of the snake for us.
I would say in terms of scoring.
Direction-wise. Not scoring, direction-wise. Where we're going as a team, Jalen Green is the head of the snake. Either we trade, like I said, we trade him, get a new player, and the entire team direction changes, or we keep Jalen and we build over the next few years.
And that's completely possible. And I see the angle you're working with. And I'm not going to say and disagree. I do think that if Jalen we make every podcast about Jalen somehow. But if there's a player
you're the only two people. Donte, I don't know how Donte is about Jalen Green. He hasn't.
Donte likes Jalen. He's on our side.
He hasn't shown the most loving support for Jalen Green.
But yeah,
this podcast supports Jalen Green fully.
Only holding him accountable to his standards.
Yep.
That's all it is. It's not
right.
that I like him or love him. He's a Rocket. Of course, I'm gonna love him. But other than that, when you the number 2 overall pick, and we gave you a pass for a couple of years because you had Steven Silas over there. We gave you a pass. So right now, you're not in the verge of getting no more pass. We got a strict head coach that's coming in here, changing the culture, trying to win. For us to be a very good team, Jalen Green just gonna have to be the guy. We can't keep waiting for you to step up in the second half of the season. We need you to step up in the first half of the season in certain games, because there's a lot of games that we lost because he didn't step up, and there's a lot of games that we won because he was on the bench. There was a lot of games we won because he was on the bench. So I just need Jalen Green to go out there and be Jalen Green. He needs to play the second half the first half the way he played the second half of the season. We can't keep waiting on Jalen Green to get going.
He needs to stop making Instagram posts. So he needs to stop doing it. Just
no. It's a good thing because his Instagram posts have been cryptic, saying he's going to be really good coming back this season. And
yeah, he also did that last season and the season before.
He also did the post, right? He also posted himself looking homeless, which that's a good thing. Maybe he's been in the gym 24/7.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel some type of way about players using social media like that, and that's just me personally.
I'm with you. I agree, but it's Jalen Green, so I have to support it.
Oh my!
we made 2 years. We made 2 years, 3 years of excuses for Jalen Green. I'm not gonna keep making excuses.
Right, and and we said it before. This season, he either has to turn it around or he's gonna get sent away to another team.
I just don't think that I'm going to backtrack something I said earlier. I think trading Jalen doesn't necessarily change the entire trajectory of the team, but it does change it obviously in a big way, because now we're not only trading for someone who's outside of the core, but also now then the rest of the core kind of becomes a little shaky. Like, oh, okay, all right, we don't play well, they trade us, right? We just watched the number 2 overall pick a couple years ago get traded, and Şengün is obviously taking off, but now I got to step up, right? And I mean, at the end of the day, we don't know what you're made of until you're put in the pot, So
who got traded? Am I tweaking? Who was it that got traded?
No, I'm saying like if they trade Jalen Green, right?
Yeah,
the rest of the
number 2 overall a few years ago got traded. Who? Oh, you're saying if they trade Jalen?
Yeah. Yep. If and so at the
end,
yeah, breathe, breathe. It's okay.
Who was the scrub on the Wizards that Jalen crossed?
Oh gosh, that's a good question. Don't know.
I got just as lost as he did.
It was just Wizards fans in general.
I got more lost than when James Harden crossed. Who was it?
Give him a map.
No. Who wrote the apology? Who was it? It was on the Wizards, I think. Who wrote the apology?
No, that was I thought. Was it on the Wizards? I thought it was on the.
Someone wrote an apology once they got crossed by Harden.
No, they came out and said he had back spasms. He said his back spasmed when he got crossed, and he lost where he was going. I think it was for the Knicks. I know what you're talking about, though. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Oh, I'm
but yeah, while he's searching that up, Donte, man, so like we're talking a lot about roles and whatnot. So now let's move into the final bit of our podcast here. The last few minutes we have. Who do you think is going to grow or will show the most growth during the offseason? Obviously, Şengün, I think, is still going to be our best player. That's going to be pretty set. But do you think like a Men is going to develop this free throw jumper maybe thing? Do you think Cam Whitmore is going to come out and be a lot better? But did you find it, Ryan?
It was.
Yeah, I want to say it would be easy to say LP, but only for one thing, If he can make free throws, he can easily average at least 24 to 25 a game.
Yeah, if he makes free throws, he averages like 20. Yeah, 25. Yeah,
he averages about that amount. But I'm going to say, I'm definitely going to say Amen Thompson. I think he takes the next step of growth up. I believe he's going to get a lot of playing time this season. So I'm going to say Amen Thompson is also with Cam Whitmore athleticism and him being able to shoot the way he did last year, shot 36% from 3, I believe. He didn't shoot that even in college. I mean, for him to come to the NBA and he shoots better than that if he continues to do that, he's going to continue to be something special for us. But I'm gonna say Amen Thompson takes that next step and that next growth based on how he played last year. And this guy was also a double machine, man. This guy, like last year, man, how many doubles he had, and he was for him to be 6'8", can jump like that and rebound. Like I think he really takes that next step up, man.
I agree. That's a good point there. Ryan, what you got for us?
It was Kent Bazemore.
It was Kent Bazemore? Who was he playing for?
Kent Bazemore.
Who was he playing for?
It was Kent Bazemore with the Hawks.
The Hawks. Oh my gosh, I remember Kent Bazemore.
Yeah.
It's all coming back to me. Wow.
Yep.
Wow, what a guy. What a guy. Okay, Ryan. So for the for who grew the most over the offseason, I think Donte and I are in agreement. It's probably going to be Amen Thompson. I don't not saying that Şengün can't get any better, but I think what he's working on is going to be more just refinery of his game, really just building more of a foundation. So who do you think is going to be who grew the most over the offseason?
I think you already know who I'm going to go with.
Oh, tell me why. Tell me why you think this man.
So I'm going with this person because I think he understands he needs to be consistent. He needs to put up good numbers, and I think he knows that he's going to get traded if he doesn't play well. Point blank here. And so I also know how much he loves this city and the Rockies, and I think he wants to be that player for us that gets a chip with us.
For sure. Okay, that's
why I think that it is Jalen Green.
That's a fair response. And honestly, if Jalen Green is the one that grows the most over the offseason, we're a top 6 seed.
Yep.
Like no matter what. If we get a consistent Jalen Green, I don't care. OKC's fake ass first seed can go all the way down. We already beat the out of the Nuggets last season. And they almost swept.
We see what Jalen Green can do to OKC.
Yeah, we did. That was without Şengün too. And he beat the brakes off that team. So, and he went to overtime with them, didn't he? We came back, did OT. Yeah, that was clutch, Jalen. That was clutch after that. That's what we've been waiting for. Like that, I think his Wizards game was crazy.
That was 37-point pull up from 3-pointer, Jalen Green, prime March.
Yeah, man. It's gonna mean a lot if Jalen is the one that grows the most over the offseason. And I think we will be the most successful if Jalen Green is the one that grows the most over the offseason. But that's just how it's going to have to be, right? Guys, be sure to comment down below, who do you think grew the most over the offseason? Do you agree with their rotations and roles? Do you think a lot of players are going to change up? I'm interested. Who is leaving, if any of them? I'm very interested to see everyone else's go play and comments. Ryan, man, where can I find you?
At Ryan Diamond 15 on Twitter, at Ryan Diamond 15 on Instagram. You can find me here on the H-Town Rundown podcast, as well as Rockets Round Robin podcast. And the three of us are all on that podcast as well.
Shout out Rockets Round Robin, man. We're going to be on there at some point again, man. Coach Donte, bro, where can I find you, man?
Y'all know where y'all can find me. Y'all can find me right here on H-Town Rundown with my guys, Preston and Ryan. Y'all find me on Instagram at Coach Donte5. Y'all can also find me on X Coach Donte31 in the Rockets Round Robin. Y'all can also find me on that one.
Right on, man. Be sure to check out my boy Donte, man. Be sure to check out my boy Ryan. Be sure to follow this podcast at the H-Town Rundown on Instagram as well as YouTube. Hopefully that's where you guys are watching. And then follow the X account at the H-Town Rundown as well. We got a lot of fun stuff we try to post every day. We just gave away our Houston Rockets Tari Eason bobblehead to the Weird Ones podcast. So thank you guys for playing in our Tari Eason bobblehead sweepstakes. Can't wait to do more of these things. It's going to be super exciting. And before we end it off, man, be sure to follow me, your host, Drip2Ps_JWD on the Instagram as well as X app. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.